No, I honestly, the video game reviews up to that point always did well, which I was always sort of shocked by. I never thought I was that good at them, but people seem to like them okay. I'm not planning on doing anymore. I can't think of anything I would do. I just can't think of material that's just not my...
Kane and Lynch.
What's that?
There's Kane and Lynch you could argue about.
Okay, I'm hearing a lot of no's. I'm going to trust them.
You got somebody fired.
In terms of favorite game, I really, because that's another one it would usually kind of change, but I realize I'm always up for playing Marvel vs. Capcom.
Green hair.
Wait, what's your favorite?
Ocarina of Time.
I never played, I just knew.
No, I stopped playing a long time ago. But I was being honest about that. Green hair.
How many times do you think you'll see frying the Coke?
Oh, I don't know. I just assumed that was already dead. I haven't seen that one in a while. I don't know. I don't know. I have no idea how to answer that question. I don't know. Okay.
What was it like doing the Alone in the Dark review with Spoonie and Linkar?
Oh, they're douches.
The answer to everything is douche.
It was fun. It was tricky because a lot of things were sort of like getting in the way. Like we couldn't do it in the regular room because there's construction next door. And then so we're gonna do it downstairs. Then I lost my voice. Literally, like as soon as they came in, my voice was gone. So we had to come up with that computer thing. Or at that point, I was getting back a little bit, but it was sounding like this, and it wasn't sounding very good. So yeah, we all just. I never saw it before. Mike is saying, Mike Machete was saying, you gotta do an Uber movie. Everyone wants you to do an Uber movie. And I was getting a lot of requests. It's like, okay, well, these two seem to really be all over the Uber Bowl thing. So just bring them in and do.
Let them do the work.
Yeah. Oh, actually, when I think about it, they had like 4 writers, didn't they? Because they had Lewis, Noah, Rob, and myself on that. So yeah, no, it was fun. It was pretty easy to do too. I mean, we're just sitting on the ground facing the screen, not too difficult. So yeah, it was fun. Let's see. Let's do you holding the phone there.
Oh, when there's a movie made about you guys, who do you want to play you and why?
I like that guy from
Ben Stiller.
He just spray paint his hair. It's me.
The chick from Narnia.
Yeah. I think that's on like your Facebook, right? There's always pictures of you and then just like the chick from Narnia. It's like you can't even tell. It just. No, she was in Narnia. I didn't know that.
I was. It's my first role. I like to keep it under wraps because I got a dignified job now.
People don't like the movie, you just pull it.
Was it really hard to get everyone together for Kick-Assia when you did that a couple years ago?
I mean, I can't comment because I didn't. I mean, a lot of the getting the people together, yeah, that's all Mike Machad and stuff like that, and probably not. It was probably difficult, but he always manages to pull it off. And
the difficult stuff is usually in the process, not the getting there, but the actual like difficulties unforeseen of production. Because like this last one that we did was by far the most tiring.
Yeah.
The one before that, Suburban Nights, was the biggest disaster in terms of just everyone demoralized, like the first couple of days. Then we kind of pulled together and pulled our pants up and got her done. But I feel like the most went wrong on Suburban Nights.
Yeah.
Technically, and weather, and people getting tired. But it's usually like, and then we went over time budget on this last one.
Yeah, big time. Yeah, like really big time. But, I mean, the good news about it though is that like with Suburban Nights, I mean, we had to cut scene after scene after scene because there was just no time, and then we had to. It wasn't planned out correctly. It wasn't my fault. And then on this one. Again, mostly my fault, and not planned out correctly in terms of shooting time. But I think one scene got cut, and that was it. And it was just a little throwaway scene that had 2 lines of dialogue. So I mean, everything that was in the script was pretty much shot. So that'll be nice that you actually have something that's like, oh yeah, here, what we wrote is here. It's pretty much going to be there, unless I'm like, that's stupid.
I think there's one line you should cut.
With you, it's like 5.
You know which line I'm talking about.
We'll see. Let's see. Let's do. Alright, green shirt. I don't think.
Okay, first off, sparkle, sparkle, sparkle.
Fuck yeah! I'll say one thing real fast about that guy. That's J-Rod. He is unbelievably hardworking. He built the sets for the 4th-year anniversary. He's a camera guy in this. He does Photoshop work for a lot of the stuff. Like anytime I need a Photoshop image, he does that. He does prods. Unbelievably hardworking. I feel so bad. He's only going to be known as the Sparkle. But he did a great song. Yeah, sparkle.
Also, are you guys into musical theater at all, or just theater in general?
I think you probably are. When you're from New York, it's like
I used to. Like, I haven't seen a show in forever. Like, I wanted to see the Book of Mormon, but that's got like a waiting list of like 3 years. Brent,
oh, Brent, yeah.
Yeah, fun fact. He actually went to NYU at the same time I did. We didn't know each other, but he was there at Tisch studying musical theater, and that's what he really wants to do. So him and Dan, who popped up in my show from time to time, were talking about writing a. I want to think it was sort of in a comic book universe musical. And they were like, yeah, this might do well, and I was like, well, that does sound good. So hopefully that will come to fruition in the next couple of years.
He's so great at writing those songs too, and just having a good beat. And the way he mimicked the songs in Moulin Rouge, I thought was so impressive.
I was just wondering, how do the anniversary conglomerations come to be? Like, who plans them, writes them? How does that come about?
Really, I mean, the first one just started off with Mike Machado. A lot of these ideas just come from Mike Machado. You know, he said, it's our 1-year anniversary. You know, we're gonna fly all. There's so many of these people out, a lot of big name producers and stuff like that. I'm like, oh great, what are we gonna do with them? He's like, well, you figure that out. It's like,
we'll do what Doug does best.
Yeah, just have
punch.
Just beat the shit out of each other, pretty much. So it's like, that's all I could think. I'm like, well, you got all these people here. What would I want to see? I want to see them duke it out. So I just wrote that. And then the second one, again, it was his idea. He was just sort of like, it's like, you got ideas for the second year? I'm like, not really. And he says, here, he shows me this Molossia site. Like, well, that's funny. What about it? He's like, what if we invaded it? I'm like, what, for real? Like, he's like, no, we let him know. But what if we did this whole big thing where we flew people out there and invaded this little acre of land and stuff? And he said, we go for it? He's like, look at this guy. He has to have a good sense of humor.
He did.
He did. Unbelievable.
I was shocked the whole time because I have been, like, as a film student, kicked out of so many locations for, like, the tiny, like, once we got kicked out because that was in an RA's dorm. We got kicked out because we left the door open and the freshman saw that she had a kitchen.
What?
Yeah. And then I got kicked out of another one for having a crew of 13 instead of 10. So, you get kicked out of locations for, like, the tiniest things. And, like, we were there, and I was like, oh my god, we're going to get kicked out, we're going to get kicked out, we're going to get kicked out, because there was, like, so many people. And
he's, like, unbelievably
and they gave us donuts. I was just like, oh my god, you're too fortuitous. You're about to get kicked out of this location. They were really nice, though.
Yeah, unbelievably nice. And and the funny thing is that, like, he knows it's a joke. I mean, that's one of the questions that get a lot. Does he really think? Yeah,
it's fun.
And it's like, but he takes the joke very seriously. Like, when he got in the general outfit, he did his acting, and
no, when we showed up on that first day,
he was in the outfit.
Pulled up, he comes outside like in his generally.
Yeah, I mean, just very
standing at attention.
And I was asking, can we put this in here? He's like, anything. And like, even when we were filming outside for scenes we didn't need him for, I mean, he would just stand there like this. He just, or even if he had like a chair or something like that, just very astute. I mean, he's just a fascinating guy, but just like really nice, really funny.
And Angry Joe like made a friend that looked like it was like his.
Oh,
he like a bond was forged. That
yeah, this little girl. It was
really cute. I forget. Oh, she was so cute though.
Yeah, and like when we were leaving, like I guess Joe was just really getting along with her, and when they were finally going.